Hey, this is going to be a first impressions review of this NACON Revolution 5 Pro controller for the PS5, and it actually says the PS4 and for PC, so that's pretty cool that you can use this with multiple devices. Before I get into the review, I want to preface this with, initially this started out as a first impressions review, but after using this controller for a limited amount of time, I did find some things that I don't like, and I will share those towards the end. So stay tuned towards the end to find out what I really don't like about this controller and why this may make me consider not even using it or potentially selling it. Now, I bought this controller because originally I had the PlayStation Edge controller, and while this is a great controller, it doesn't have what's called the Hall effect, which is a magnetic stick which somehow prevents stick drift from ever happening on the controller. This controller can still get stick drift, but they do have a way for you to pop this off and change the sticks out, which is cool, but you're still paying money ongoing for a controller. Another thing I liked about this controller, it had sticks on the bottom or programmable buttons on the bottom where you could use your middle fingers or whatever finger you have down there to use those as extra buttons. This controller has those built in to the controller, you can see right here, and they also have two additional buttons right here on the side. Now, when I bought this controller, the biggest reason for buying it was it allows you to use a Bluetooth headphones, like normal Bluetooth headphones. I've actually been using my Beats earbuds with these headphones, and it's super easy to connect. The first time you connect, you literally hold the Bluetooth button until it starts flashing blue and white, and you press the connection button on the headphones, and it just pairs almost instantly. And then moving forward, all you have to do is hold the Bluetooth button until it turns blue, and then you press a button on your earbuds or whatever you're listening to it with, and it should pair right from there. So you don't have to actually go through a pairing process in the future. Now, originally I had these headphones, which are I think they're the Edge, or I don't know, but I am super disappointed in the quality of these, and it's too late to return them, so I'll probably just be selling them. I'm gonna do a whole review on these separately, but I'm super disappointed in these because I thought that Sony would put a lot of effort into these, and yeah, the sound quality just isn't there. They do not sound that great, and the Beats sound so much more immersive and better than the Sony. So that's ultimately why I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and get this controller that I can use with my regular earbuds that I know sound good. So that was my biggest deciding factor, and also because of the no stick drift. But yeah, this controller, the only difference with this controller, or one of the main differences I'll say, is they move the stick. And I think this is similar to how Xbox is set up, where they put the left stick up to the left and move the D-pad down. And yeah, it takes some getting used to, especially playing Grand Theft Auto. I was trying to do a certain move that I normally do, and I'm so used to going to the D-pad up here that I was actually reaching for buttons that's not there. So yeah, it definitely takes some getting used to, and you have to relearn some of the actions that you take. Now, the biggest downfall, or the biggest thing that I don't like about this controller, is it does not power on your PS5. And I didn't know that, but it's one of those things, you either love it or you hate it. So normally with the PlayStation controller, you can press the PS button, and you can see right here, if I hold it, the controller comes on. That's another feature I love, the pulsating light. Oh, I love that. You can change this color, by the way, whatever color you want it. But right now the controller is on, and it's not turning on the PlayStation 5. So because this controller uses a Bluetooth dongle, it technically can't power on the PlayStation. A device or accessory that uses a dongle can't power on the PlayStation. Now, realistically, you could just walk over to your PlayStation and press the button to turn it on. But I ended up just buying a media remote because they are pretty affordable. And this works just like pressing the PlayStation button. This pairs right with your PS5. And as you can see, I pressed the PlayStation button. All right, so there we go. So now you see the PlayStation comes on, and now it's going to recognize the controller. Now, something else I want to mention about this controller is it's not really plug and play. This is really a professional controller. This controller, I bought it, started playing with it immediately, got right into the game. This controller, I was pressing up and it was barely moving. And what I found out was that I needed to update the profile. So right now, the only way to update the profile is you have to download software on your computer. They do have Mac and PC software, for either or. And yeah, you download that software, plug your controller up to your computer, and then it'll recognize the controller and allow you to make changes to the controller or create profiles for the controller based on the game that you're playing. I do have an update about this. It turns out you can program using the remote. It's just a matter of taking it out of advanced mode. So once out of advanced mode, you can map the different buttons to any button on the controller. Now that took me about 30 minutes to an hour to really get the understanding. Of course, with the help of a few YouTube videos, I was able to get a better understanding of what certain settings meant. But yeah, this isn't really plug and play, so definitely keep that in mind. But I mean, it's a stick that you're going to have for a long time, because considering it can work with PS5 and PC or computers, and I believe I can hook it up to my Apple TV and everything. So yeah, this controller is really versatile because it is Bluetooth. Yeah, I love it so far. I don't have any complaints about it. And like I said, the only thing was that it doesn't power on the PlayStation 5, but you can just buy a media remote, or you can just go over and cut it on, get your little exercise in between. I mean, I've been playing with it, and you know, I like it. Like I mentioned earlier, it does take some getting used to, because they did move the left analog stick and the D-pad, so that takes a little getting used to. But overall, I'm happy with my purchase. I really love that it has the Bluetooth function that allows me to listen to my earbuds instead of having to pair with a PlayStation product, because another issue with these is they disconnect a lot from the PlayStation. While using Bluetooth with these headphones, I've had a minimal amount of issues where it was slightly disconnect, but it would come right back, and it wasn't like impacting my gameplay, so I'm not really complaining about it. The first issue I did have with this controller was it was disconnecting from the PlayStation 5. And after doing a little research, I found out that on the back of the PlayStation, you have two different USB ports. You have a regular or standard USB port, and then you have one that has SS or a super speed. And for you to get the best connectivity to your controller, you need to put the dongle in the super speed port. I also have an update on this. I found out that the two USB ports in the back of the PS5 are both super speed or high speed USB ports, and I currently have the PS5 Slim Edition. One last thing I want to mention, it does come with a really nice case, and just in case you're traveling or something, and the charging cord, it comes with a really high quality braided USB to USB-C charging cable. This is a super high quality cable. Aside from that, you get an accessories box that comes with a different D-pad. Not really sure how different this D-pad is, but you have sticks that are a little bit higher, and I guess they come up, they don't have like dips. I don't know the proper verbiage for that. But you also have weights that you can add to the controller, to the different sides of the controller. So if you wanted the right side to be a little heavier for whatever reason, you can add these weights to the grips. So yeah, quite a few accessories, and I think this is a mic, or I don't know, it's something to do with sound, but yeah, it has quite a few accessories. The reason I don't really care is because I probably won't be using it, but yeah, this is a really good controller. I've already started using it. I haven't played Call of Duty yet. I've mostly been playing Grand Theft Auto, and I've only programmed one button so far. Oh, and you see that button is X. Oh, almost forgot. I can't believe I almost forgot this. The biggest and probably one of the strongest points, when I switched to this controller, I didn't realize that the battery life was terrible. This controller lasts about, I think they said 4 hours or maybe. And I noticed that I would be playing a game, and by the time I would finish after a few hours, it would have like 1 bar left. This controller lasts for 10 hours. So yeah, this controller has much longer battery life than the PlayStation Edge DualSense controller. So I'm still trying to figure out how to make it vibrate and sound. That's something I haven't figured out yet. And that brings me here where I basically feel like I may be getting rid of this controller. So yeah, it has great battery life. It feels good. It does take some getting used to, but I was wondering why I couldn't get it to vibrate when I was playing video games. And come to find out, PlayStation 5, they have this special vibration feature where only their DualSense controller can vibrate based on the video games that you're playing. So no controller that uses a dongle is going to vibrate with the new PlayStation 5. That's one problem. The other problem is when I play Grand Theft Auto, one of the big things about the game is the sound coming through the controller. I mean, I've played for quite a few hours. I could never hear any sound coming from the controller. So that leads me to believe that either the controller doesn't have internal speakers or it's not set up to transfer the sound from the PlayStation, similar to how an actual PlayStation controller works. So after finding this out and seeing how hard it is to set up, I just came to the conclusion that this controller just may not be for me, and ultimately I'm probably just going to get rid of it, sell it. Somebody else will find it useful. It's a great controller if you don't care about vibration and the sound that comes from the remote and the sound that comes from the controller, but those are big factors for me, so I'll just end up going back to the DualSense Edge controller, which offers all of those, but the only thing is it doesn't have a long battery life. But I don't play the game that much anyway, so that won't be that big of a problem. So with this new information, and I'm still going to do a follow-up review basically explaining everything, but yeah, with this new information, I give this controller a 3 out of 5, and I don't recommend it unless you're like super serious about gaming. Now I do need to test this controller out with Call of Duty to see how I feel about it, because it may just be a Call of Duty controller, who knows. But playing some of my other games like NBA 2K and Grand Theft Auto, it's not a great controller. It takes too much to set it up. So yeah, we'll see. I'll do a follow-up review and let you know how I feel about it. All right, thank you for watching, and you have a blessed day.